Welcome into the makeup edition of Fright Club for episode 309, which was supposed to be a live podcast recording. We still had the film series, as we always do once a month at Gateway Film Center in Columbus, Ohio. Technical difficulties.
Yeah, so we were unable to record it. So this
I
is our
take the L. I take the L for that. Entirely my fault. So, but we had a great time.
We did.
But we're back to sort of make up what we meant to do the other night. Just don't have the great live crowd.
Yeah, we don't.
But we're talking about recent Latino horror, and that's in the last 10 years.
Yes, because one of the things that we were putting together our event list for this year. So we were putting together our wish list, the films that we were hoping to show this coming year. And one of the things that stood out to me, this year's wish list and the films that we have shown at Fright Club Live in the last 2 years, is how much astounding, amazing new horror has come out of Mexico, Spain, Latin America, Chile, Argentina, Guatemala. It's in the last decade. Yeah. And so much of it is also from brand new filmmakers. And just the list of also rans didn't make the top. In fact, we even did fuzzy math.
There are as in top six, top five.
Top six, top five. So there are just so many unbelievably great horror films coming out of Spanish language horror films coming out right now in the last 10 years. And we felt like, well, we have to celebrate that.
Yeah. And so we've got a bunch that didn't even crack the top six, top five, but are still great films.
Yes.
So about Bubbling Under.
Yes.
Starting with The Untamed.
Yeah. Read the synopsis before you watch it, because that is not for everybody. Also, Quisera the Bone Woman. Yeah. That's a great one.
Yep.
La Llorona, not the American Hollywood one.
The Curse of not the Curse of La Llorona.
But the actual film called La Llorona.
Also one that we showed at Fright Club, Lose the Flower of Evil. Showed that last year.
Gorgeous. We did show it last year.
Yeah, yep. Fantastic.
Terrified, which you can find on Shudder, and you must immediately.
The Platform. That was one that has already spawned a sequel.
Yeah. Big Netflix.
Yeah, big Netflix. Yeah. Didn't like the sequel as much, but really interesting. The Platform on Netflix.
Veronica, which was a really spooky, sad exorcism kind of a movie, possession kind of a movie that I really loved.
And Amigo.
Oh my God, so great, so tense. Great movies. They're great movies.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show how many there are for us to work with.
Yeah, again, all in the last 10 years. Yeah. And that's why we thought, let's just do this.
That's right.
And one of these, of course, that we're going to talk about here in the top six, top five, we did show for our past, for the most recent Fright Club film series. And a couple on here, at least one of this top six, top five, we've shown as well.
That's right.
So we want to get these in front of big screen audiences as much as we can. And by the way, before we jump in, we want to say thanks for everybody's comments. And on the last month, we did Krampuses. Krampuses
in more movies. And
George
got to pick that movie. Usually George picks one of the movies every year. And this year he picked a Christmas horror story anthology, a really fun one. I'd actually kind of forgotten how fun that movie was.
It was fun. And you probably, if your social media feeds or anything like ours during December, you start seeing that question pop up all the time. Hey, give me some great Christmas horror. And you start to see some of the same titles, and that's great.
Yeah.
But this one is starting to sneak in more and more. I think people are starting to realize it's out there. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Of course, it's William Shatner.
That's right.
As a radio DJ. Who's got apparently a 36-hour shift, but we'll look the other way. But a great
full bottle of schnapps.
Yeah, a great Krampus and Santa fight. It's got everything. Yeah, and it's an anthology that comes together in a really surprising way. If you haven't seen it, there's a little twist at the end, which is pretty interesting. So,
and
Christmas
also
horror story.
Roger Connors reached out after the podcast because he stars in, co-wrote, I think produced one of the films that we talked about, and
Mother Krampus 2.
That's right. And he's so great. So it was sweet of him to notice that we mentioned that film.
Yeah. So that was fun last time, but now we're on to recent, as in the last decade, Latino horror. So fuzzy math means top six, top five. And this one, man, El Conde. Speaking of Netflix, this is from 2023, and it's after living 250 years in this world. Augusto Pinochet, who is not dead, but an aged vampire, decides to die once and for all. High concept, yes, but man, this is so effective. I remember when we first watched it, I I hadn't heard a thing about it.
No.
Just came out of nowhere. Of course, I've heard of Pablo Larraín,
yes,
the filmmaker.
And that's one of the things that was so striking about this is that he makes not this. You know, he did Spencer, Jackie. You know, he did the one Maria, the Maria Callas film.
Yeah,
he does these. He does these absolutely gorgeous, glorious movies, usually about really sad, famous ladies. And this one, wow, that came out of left field.
Yeah, all of them though. Incredible cinematography.
Incredible.
And this one has it too. Just amazing.
In fact, it was nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah.
Had an Oscar nomination.
As it should be. Yeah. And it is such an interesting story to take this obvious real life figure from history and make him a vampire. And as it said in the synopsis there, who was not dead, but finally decided to die. And it's just such a weird treatment that is just hypnotizing.
Yeah.
When he takes to the air and flies over the Cape, flying, you know, because El Conde is the Count, translates to the Count. Yeah. It's just fascinating.
And it's very, really wryly funny.
Oh yeah.
And you got a little Margaret Thatcher in there, which is pretty great.
Yeah, not subtle.
A little takedown of the Catholic Church. I mean, it just has everything you want really in a movie. And again, I mean, it's in black and white. It's just like you said, hypnotic. It's such a gorgeous movie.
Yeah, the director of photography, Edward Lockman. Some of the lenses that he used for this shoot were also used in Citizen Kane, a little movie you might have heard of.
Yeah.
And he, before the shoot started, he reached out to company Aeroflex to make a special monochromatic large format camera just for this film, and they accepted. That's some of the equipment that's used.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But Pablo Larraín actually operated most of the camera himself during the shoot.
Wow.
And it's amazing. It's just amazing. The look of it, even if you don't like the story, and you probably will, if you like horror movies, just the look of it is insanely intoxicating.
Yeah. And
just wraps you into this story. And you're right, it is wryly funny. Which
it is.
You don't think of Pinochet as funny.
No.
But they find a way. And yeah, Margaret Thatcher is in there. And it's just a fascinating film that we couldn't leave out.
No.
That's why we had to make it Fuzzy Math.
That's right.
For top 6, top 5.
That's right.
This is just amazing. And yeah, out of left field, I guess, for Pablo Larraín, but wow. He likes these historical figures.
Yeah.
This one is a little different
take.
A little different take, but I imagine this is still on Netflix.
I think that it is.
Yeah,
still on
so
Netflix,
seek it out. And if it ever has a chance, maybe with us, to see on the big screen, take advantage of that because it's just beautiful.
So
from 2023, that is El Conde, number 6. Our list of best Latino horror from the last 10 years. All right, number 5. This is one from Mexico from 2019, a dark fairy tale about a gang of 5 children trying to survive the horrific violence of the cartels and the ghosts created every day by the drug wars. Tigers Are Not Afraid.
This is another gorgeous movie.
Gorgeous.
Issa Lopez made this one, and she just, you know, it's so. There's such a wild mix of realism and it's like the kind of fairy tale wonder of like a child, this childlike wonder about it. And it's, I think, maybe the only way to tell a story like this. A lot of orphans, drug, war, horrible things happening, poverty, horrible things happening. I think it's maybe the only way to tell it that is not so gut-wrenching that you can't bear to watch it. But at the same time, man, have some Kleenex, Andy, because it's very moving. Yeah,
and over 600 children were apparently considered before the cast members were finalized. And then the film was shot in chronological order, and the child actors never shown an actual script so that they got the children's authentic reactions to what was going on around them.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
good.
I cannot imagine what it took for Issa Lopez to craft a film out of that, to have such control over her vision and the plan for the film that she could set up these shots, not have the kids have scripts, but still know where the story is going and have it work out, because it worked out gloriously.
Well, you can understand how if you're shooting it in chronological order, then it would make more sense to the children.
Yeah.
Because
as it goes along,
it would make a lot more sense. You can get away with that.
Right. And that is uncommon because it costs more, because usually you take advantage, you shoot everything that takes place in this one setting at this time. So then you move all of your stuff someplace else. So it's it's pretty uncommon. And I remember when the film came out, Isla Lopez had said that on social media, she said that her next project at the time, what she was planning to, of course, she went on to do that HBO TV show with Jodie Foster, and they won all kinds of awards for it.
The True Detective.
There you go, True Detective. I couldn't think of the name of it. But she was working on a werewolf western.
Yeah.
And Guillermo del Toro wanted to executive produce. So I'm just like,
in my eyeballs.
Give it to me. Give it to me now.
My eyeballs.
I know it.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it would be great.
Yeah, and this was where did I lost myself? Oh, the tiger, the plush tiger, handmade. 3 of them were used in the making of the film. The director, Isla Lopez, owns the original. Second one was kept as a backup, and the third was cut into pieces in order to be scanned for the visual effects process.
Wow.
So the actual tiger. But we've talked a lot on this podcast and our other podcast, The Screening Room, about these amazing child actors.
Yeah.
They just keep coming over and over, and so many of them, of course, because they're so young, have no experience, and they're just like seasoned pros.
I know.
I'm going to throw a lot of that back on the director, sure, but still, you've got these natural talents, these kids that just blow you away.
It's incredible.
It is incredible. And here's a group of them, 5 of them. Amazing. They were picked out of a cold
and some of them were so little.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Just amazing.
Yeah.
So this one is available on Shudder, right, and also on Prime Video. And another one that is just beautiful to look at. So if you happen to have a big screen, a big HD screen, enjoy that. So that is number 5 from Mexico 2019. Tigers Are Not Afraid. Love that. Okay, moving up to number 4. This is one we've shown at our Fright Club film series, Gateway Film Center in Columbus, Ohio. This is from Spain from 2022. An overweight teen is bullied by a clique of cool girls poolside while holidaying in her village. The long walk home will change the rest of her life. Piggy.
This is another one that is hard to watch. It's Carlotta Pereda who made this movie, and Laura Galan is the star, and amazing, stunning. It's tough material, but it's so good. It's so good. And you were the one who told me, because they're mainly high school girls, and you would buy Laura Galan as a high school girl. She was actually 30. Which made
36.
36. Wow.
Yeah. 36. And so
good skincare.
Yeah.
But also it's easier, I think, to know that it wasn't, they weren't putting a 17-year-old actor through this stuff, but she's stunning.
So good.
And it's really a fearless film. It's a mean girl picture, kind of sort of a Carrie kind of a picture. And then there's this one moment after she has just taken such horrifying, humiliating abuse, and you just, the girls who are abusing her get kidnapped, and she sees the car drive away, and she sees one of them at the window.
Yeah, it's in the trailer there. Yeah.
And you just see that moment alone. Actually, that's a great trailer. That moment alone tells you everything you need to know about the entire film, and it's such a perfect scene.
Yeah, and that's not a spoiler because it is in the trailer.
Oh yeah.
It's fascinating, and then you get this relationship between the driver of the van, the stranger. And the main character, Sarah, and that actor is actually like 10 years younger than
Sarah.
Yeah, but it seems authentic.
Oh yeah,
and it's just a strange psychological push and pull. And then the third act, if you're waiting for some bloodshed, if you're waiting for some satisfying comeuppance, well, just hang on, because the third act delivers that. And this is one that was a big crowd pleaser when we showed it.
It's so fearless. It's so smart. But it's a tough watch. It's great, but it's a horror movie.
And that's another, it is. And that's another one that I see sometimes as prompts in horror movie groups, including our own Fright Club podcast group on Facebook, by the way. Sometimes you get a prompt that somebody's just in the mood for a revenge of bullying type of movie. And
Piggy's the one.
Here's one.
Yeah.
There's a few, but this is one right here. Yeah. And just take a look at that image from the trailer. From the poster that we showed. There's that image of her standing there, just conjures up all sorts of, look at that.
Yeah.
All sort. Oh, what's going on there? Yeah. She's covered in blood, obviously. And just by the title and looking at her, you immediately probably think, all right, she's probably bullied. And look at, it's,
and you
mentioned, draws you in.
You mentioned that Pereda made sure that she was always in the center of the frame.
Yeah, it's
with nothing behind her to distract from the way she looks.
Yeah, if you see the film, you notice the aspect ratio. She said, Carletta Peretta said they shot in 4:3, quote, because the body is in the center of the image. It's much more important than the surrounding landscape. It's more claustrophobic. End quote. Yes, that's why they shot in that. And it makes total sense. Even if you don't realize it at the time, it's one of those that is working on your brain while you're watching it, because that is the main focus. Everything revolves around her body. That's why she's getting bullied.
Yeah.
And everything after that comes from it. So it's a great device to shoot that way once you realize the idea behind it. And she also said that she wrote Piggy to confront her own fears, because being a teen can be terrifying. And isn't that the truth? And a great performance by a woman in her 30s. Because,
as a teenage girl.
You know.
Yeah, I would never have guessed, honestly, until you said that when we recorded and didn't record the other day. I would never have guessed that she was.
You know, the old joke about if you go back and watch the original Grease movie and Stockard Channing is 32 years old. And nothing against her. She's great, but it showed.
She's the best Rizzo.
Yeah, she's the best Rizzo. But it showed.
Yeah.
She was not a high schooler. But yeah, you wouldn't notice in this one. And that is Piggy. And that, I assume that's streaming to check out, right? Piggy?
I don't know. No. It is on Prime.
It's on Prime. Okay, there you go. All right, so that is number 4. Number 3, this is one that took everybody kind of by surprise a couple of years ago. Well, 2022, and it comes from Spain, and it's Jesus and Maria, a couple going through a difficult time in their relationship. They have just become parents, and to shape their new life, they decide to buy a new coffee table, a decision that will change their existence in the coffee table. Man, this is one that I think even today, people that haven't seen and then they fired up, they're not ready.
No, you're not ready. You're not ready. You're not ready.
Man, and it's one that if you just look at the synopsis and think of it as maybe a writing prompt or something like that, they'll write a horror movie centered around a piece of furniture. And you don't see how they could sustain it for 90 minutes, but they do.
This is the most tense movie I think I've ever seen.
Tense, and they've got this B story going on that's kind of funny.
Yeah,
and then
it's actually listed on IMDb as a dark comedy.
Well, at the beginning when they're buying the coffee table, that sequence is funny.
It is.
It goes to places that are not funny at all, and so tense, because especially there's this one scene, without giving anything away, where something that we know as the audience and that the main character knows, and he's trying to stop everyone else from finding it out. And you're just looking around, you're so tense because there's something that would give it away, and like, oh, is it going to happen? You're grabbing your chair or your leg or whatever.
It's writer director Calle Casas, and the way he uses, it's a masterful script and direction. The way he uses sort of sitcom-esque tropes and tension, and even like comedic moments, specifically to amplify tension, is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And also, David Perea plays Jesus, and it's the most sympathetic dumbass. You know, I mean, you just love him, and you're so heartbroken for him, and he's such an idiot. And it's a magnificent performance. It really, really is. And it's a scarring movie.
Oh, it's a gut punch. And speaking of Jesus, because you're trying to figure out, what is your end game? Like, how is he thinking this is going to end? Once he goes down the path that he goes down, but then he's so caught up in it, he's probably not thinking that.
No.
But you just want, how do you think this is going to turn out? And then, like I said, you've got this B story that is interesting, that you wouldn't think adds anything to the main premise here, but it does.
It does,
in a strange way. It's really unlike any film that you've seen. And just be ready for where it goes, because
you won't be ready for where it goes.
It's emotional. Really an emotional gut punch with some great visuals, all pretty much in one setting. This apartment.
Very few settings. I think my jaw was on. I mean, the whole time I think I watched this whole movie like,
Yeah.
It's
Did that just happen?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's brilliant.
Yeah. And that's another good. Can you bring up the poster again?
Yeah.
That's another good one. Look at that. That just kind of is very evocative.
Yeah.
Imagine what is happening with that coffee table.
Oh
And
my
even if
God.
you haven't seen it, you might have a few guesses. Probably not going to be right. But man, that one is, you don't forget it once you see it. And that's on Shudder.
Yeah.
And that's worth checking out if you haven't already. The Coffee Table from 2022 in Spain.
That's right. That's on our short list for 2026 season. Fright Club Live.
I hope so.
Hopefully May for Mother's Day.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Because even if it's so readily available on Shudder,
you want to watch it with other people.
Yeah, with other people on the big screen. Yeah, fantastic. So that is number 3. Moving up to number 2, and this is the one that we just showed the other night when we tried to tape this, and it didn't work out. This is from Chile, and 2018 tells the story of Maria, a young woman who takes refuge in a house in southern Chile after escaping from a German colony. It's La Casa Lobo, the Wolf House, which is an amazing piece of stop motion animation.
You know, it's
like anything, not like anything you've seen.
You know, how many times have we said that?
I know, it's true.
You know, I want to pause again and say it's unbelievable the quality of horror films that are coming out of just different Spanish language countries. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And
how
this
great
is
they
so
are.
original.
And I know how stunningly original they all are.
Yeah, it's almost it's told almost like a children's book, like a children's story that is alive, because the background is constantly changing. It's really like, it feels like one shot, because the movement never stops, and there's no black screen. Whatever is going on, even if what is in the center of the frame might be still, the background is constantly changing. It's pictures on the wall change,
being created. That's really what it is. You're watching the stop motion, and some of it is also like chalk on chalkboard. Some of it is paper mache, and you're watching it being built as the story is being told. Yeah, it's magical. It's just this darkly magical film.
Yeah, and it's two directors, Joaquin Cochina and Cristobal Leon, if I pronounced that correctly. Amazing. It was shot over the course of 5 years. And here's what got me. The sets were built in real human size.
I know. That's crazy. I assume they were little, like every other normal animated, like miniature.
And they were exhibited among various venues in multiple countries during the process of production. Man, would I love to see that.
Oh, yeah.
Just go and see those sets. You would be blown away that they're that big. They're human size. Because you're right. You feel that, this is probably miniatures.
Oh, sure.
They're working in miniatures, like a lot of these stop motion films do.
And if you saw Beau is Afraid, Cosinha and Leon did all of the sort of surreal segment in the woods,
which was amazing.
It was my favorite part.
It really was. It really was. That was just incredible.
Yeah, these guys, I just can't wait to see whatever they do next.
And it didn't have, as you might imagine after seeing this, it didn't have a conventional detailed shot-by-shot storyboard. It had a simple storyboard with an image representing each scene, and they were all kind of created and improved on the fly, and that's what it looks like. Like you said, it's constantly being created. Almost something is built up and then wiped away, and then something else comes up, or things change as the seconds go by. It's simply mesmerizing.
And it's based on, there really was a place in Chile called, in Chile called the Colony. And they were Germans. They were Nazis. They were Nazis who escaped Germany, and they fled to Argentina, to Chile. Why do I keep saying Argentina? To Chile. And they made honey. And they were horrible because Nazis, of course they were. So, and it's funny though, this film is never in any way overt about that, but it's very much there. Like you watch, as soon as she goes into the house, this little girl, she runs away from the colony and she finds this abandoned house, and she's hiding from the wolf that's chasing her. And the house kind of forms around her, and you see this, what will be a window, but it starts as a swastika. And then there are these two pigs, a little pig and a bigger pig, and she decides that they're going to be people. So they turn from pigs into brunettes named Anna and Jose, maybe? That's not right. Pedro. Anna and
Pedro.
And then the better they get, they turn into blondes. And in fact, Anna is so blonde, her eyelashes are blonde. It's really, so it's the weird sort of Nazi kind of Aryan creepiness about it is never overt, but it's so unsettling.
Plus, it's offset by this. You get this lulling narration by this male voice that is just sort of put you at ease, and it plays upon the story of the three little pigs. Sometimes it just appeared childlike and lulling, and isn't it? But man, there's so much going on.
Yeah. And the other thing is that it goes back and forth between Spanish and German, the language. And it's interesting, especially in a big dark theater. The Spanish language is so lovely and lilting, and German language is so harsh and just, you know, and it gives it just seems more sinister. Of course, when you know anything about the story, it's the wolf who's speaking, and sometimes the main character, Maria, is speaking German. And so anyway, there's just a lot of subtle ways that the movie kind of gets creepy. The animation gets creepy as well, but you know, especially if you are in any way a fan of animation, you really have to see this movie. It's just mesmerizing, and
it's only about 70 minutes.
75.
75 minutes. That's with credits, so it is a quick one, but
although stick through the credits because there's a little video at the end.
We found that out because when we were doing the presentation, we started talking too early, and then people in the crowd started pointing at the screen, and I'm like, what? Oh yeah. Shut up, because it's not over yet. We forget about that sometimes, but it's available on a few streaming channels. I think it might be on YouTube, I believe. Am I wrong about that?
I don't know. It might be on YouTube.
But anyway,
it's on stream.
If they're, you know what, if they're in your area, if there's some friendly people who like to show it on the big screen, like we did,
you can find it on
advantage.
Prime and Tubi.
It's all over the place.
It's all over the place.
Well worth seeing. So that is number 2, The Wolf House.
We should give credit, actually. I mean, we'd seen this before, but they programmed it at the Wexner Center for the Arts, which is another just amazing. Columbus has so many great independent art house movie theaters. It's crazy. And so we saw it as a part of this international horror program that they had at the Wexner Center. We'd seen it, but we'd not seen it on a big screen before that. And it made us realize we had to program it because it really meant to be seen in a big screen. It came out during lockdown, during COVID, so it didn't get a theatrical release. It went to streamers. It was at a time when streamers they hadn't figured themselves out yet. So basically nobody saw it, which is a crime. So seeing it on a big screen is quite a wonder. The other thing we forgot to say, that you should check out Ginger Nuts of Horror.
Oh yeah.
We remembered to say it at the live event. We forgot to say it today.
Glad to be partnered.
Our partners at gnofhorror.com, Ginger Nuts of Horror. They are a great follow, especially on Threads. They not only do they partner with us on Fright Club Podcast, they run MaddWolf's horror movie reviews, and they run tons of book reviews. Book reviews.
They've got a lot going on with horror.
It's where I always go when I'm looking for a new book to buy is Ginger Nuts of Horror. So you should check them out.
Very true. Okay, that takes us up to number 1 on our list of new, recent, last 10 years Latino horror from 2023. This is why you kept saying Argentina.
This is why.
This is from Argentina. And this is in a remote village. 2 brothers find a demon-infected man just about to give birth to evil itself. They decide to get rid of the body, only to end up unintentionally spreading chaos. It's when evil lurks.
Holy shit.
Get ready.
Man. So Damien Rugna, and he did also Terrified, which we mentioned briefly. It's at the top of this because it's also a great movie, and it's on Shudder. These are both on Shudder. And but this movie, you know, I get to the point where I find exorcism kind of movies really tedious
because because they are. You always see someone chained to a bed, and you get the same stuff over and over.
Not this time.
Not this one.
Oh my god, every single scene is such an act of rebellion. It's so imaginative and insane and horrifying. The performances are so great. This movie, this is one of my favorite movies I've seen in the last 10 years, horror or otherwise.
And this is one, you know, I think we've all often criticized films, especially remakes, that pull punches. This is not a remake, but this pulls no punches.
None pulled.
No.
And, you know, if you're in a scene and you're thinking to yourself, what's the worst thing that could happen? I bet you're not going to figure it out, but he knows. Rugna knows the worst thing that could happen.
And just some of the visuals.
Mayhem.
So, mayhem, but beautifully photographed mayhem and grotesqueness. And there's a character in the annals of idiot. when you're screaming at the screen about this idiot, why don't you listen to her?
Yeah.
He's not going to.
And the thing about it that I think is so frustrating and perfect is the whole time you're like, I know that guy. I fucking know that guy. And you know, that is the guy who's going to bring about the end of the world. And
so many great scenes,
so many
great intense scenes.
Yeah.
And in a QA after Fantastic Fest, Rugna said that he got the idea. This is interesting. He got the idea from a series of news stories about farm pesticides in his native Argentina that were causing widespread health issues. And then he suggested that corporate apathy about the workers' health and the way the issue came in out of nowhere, where it's easy for these corporations and city dwellers to ignore what's going on. That just got him thinking about the idea of lurking evil that's ignored and giving free reign to just spread everywhere. So think about where these creative people get inspiration. You know, it's a sad news story, obviously, an event, but his mind started wandering, and then it just, like you said, went to the most horrific places. How bad can this get? It's going to get bad. Yeah. It's going to get bad, and he's not going to pull away from it. He's going to make you look at it, and that's what makes it just incredible.
Yeah.
Well, one of those that you never forget, because it doesn't pull those punches. It's not afraid to go where it's going.
No, it doesn't remind you of anything.
No, not really.
I suppose in a little tiny bit, the crazies.
For spreading, yeah.
I can see that a tiny bit, but other than that, man,
but that is more, the crazies concept. Is more like one of those viral infections type
it's
of.
It's essentially a zombie.
Where this is more like you said, exorcism, evil.
Sure, it's a possession kind of
possession film in a different way. But you're right. If you're tired of the roteness of these satanic exorcism movies that is so prevalent, here's one that is not.
No.
Here's one that is new and original and only a couple years old now, maybe 3 as we're into 2026. I have to keep reminding myself. When Evil Lurks, and I know you already said that's available where? Just on
it's on Shudder, but I think you can get it
Hulu.
Hulu and
just the whole
Prime. You can get it basically anywhere, but it's on
Shudder. Should be on Disney, shouldn't it? the kids on Disney Plus. Hey, what's this? No, I'm kidding.
Don't show it
I'm
to your
kidding.
kids.
It's not family movie night.
Don't show it to your kids.
Not at all. But When Evil Lurks, that's number one on our list of great Spanish language horror from the last 10 years. And man, if that's the last 10 years, we can only look forward to what the next 10 years.
I know,
because they are bringing the heat.
Yeah,
they are bringing the heat.
Very exciting.
Beautifully photographed stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know, incredible storytelling.
Yeah.
Great performances. Incredible visuals. Yeah. Just keep it coming.
Demi and Rugna, I cannot wait to see whatever he does next. He's awesome.
Keep it coming. Yep. And a lot of these, almost all of these, are streaming now.
Yeah.
So even though they're great to catch on the big screen, if you can catch them any way you can, it's worth it. All right, so. Thankfully, we were able to make this up. Technical difficulties. We always love having the live podcast recording, and we'll do it again next month when we're back at Gateway Film Center. It's always the second Friday of the month there in Columbus, Ohio. If you're anywhere near, we'd love to have you. We start with a little happy hour.
That's right.
Comparing horror movie T-shirts.
Yes, we do a lot of
Crowd
that.
always brings it. Have a few cocktails. And then head in to record the podcast. And then we stop the podcast recording, we show the film, and then we come back to get some crowd reactions, which unfortunately we don't have this time because our people are smart.
They are smart. And they bring some great knowledge and some interesting insights. We also always show a short film in between the podcast. We want to thank Kira Wilson, who stars in this lovely movie called The Parallels of Loneliness that we got a chance to show. We shot it, a lot of it was shot in Cincinnati, so we had a lot of our Fright Clubbers who were, I know that store, I knew that that street, so that was fun.
And Kira is actually one of the co-stars, here it is, of our movie.
That's right.
Obstacle Corpse.
That's right.
And she does constant short films. She's always at the fest.
She works a
lot.
She works a lot.
And
awards bedecked. Writer, director, producer, actor. She does everything.
When we first saw this, The Parallels of Loneliness, we thought we would love to find a way to work that in. The only thing about it is, and it's not a knock, it's just a little longer than your normal short film, which for us meant we have to try to find a very short feature to pair it with. And this was perfect because, like we said, the feature that we showed, The Wolf House, was only like 75 minutes long, so it worked out perfectly.
We want to mention the director is Doug Strong.
Yeah. And if you're familiar at all with Ohio, especially Cincinnati, maybe Northern Kentucky, you will definitely see some landmarks And the way they shot it is one of those where you think, how did they pull that off?
Yeah, it's really true.
How
It's
did
a
they pull it off?
gorgeous short film. I mean, it's really, really beautiful.
Yeah, so thanks to them. So we're looking to next month is, what is it? Checks the calendar, February.
February.
Do we know what we're showing yet? I don't think we do.
Hoping, shall I say? Is it good to say or no?
Yeah, why not?
We're hoping to show May.
For Valentine's Day. If you know anything
right.
about May, it's
Yeah.
perfect.
So yeah, so it's going to be heartbreak and horror. That is going to be the theme if we get May, if we get the film May, and that'll be a lot of fun.
We will see.
We will see.
You can always keep up with us. Like I said, the Facebook group, Fright Club Podcast. Join up if you haven't already. Let me have you in there. We have some fun talking about all sorts of horror movie stuff and events and funny memes, you know, the whole bit.
Fright Club is also on Instagram and on Blue Sky.
Yeah, yeah. And you can find us, of course, MaddWolf.com is the main website, also on the YouTube channel, and MaddWolf Columbus on all of the socials. So keep in touch. What'd you like about this list? What didn't you like? Maybe some of those ones that we mentioned as the honorable mentions should have been up in the top 5. Okay, let's talk about that. We love to keep the conversation going anytime. You can reach out and be a part of it. So be well. Hope to see you at the next live event. If you're in the area, come on out and join us.
Do it.
And until then, she is Hope Madden.
He's George Wolf.
And this is the Fright Club Podcast.
See ya.